Breaking right now, Prince Harry intends to use the Invictus Games to get revenge on Queen Camilla and in turn his father, King Charles. Angela Levin, the biographer for both Prince Harry and Queen Camilla, has said that Harry is deliberately choosing a date for the UK Invictus Games in 2027 to clash with Queen Camilla's 80th birthday.
The Queen's final wishes were supposed to bring clarity, but instead, they've sparked a huge controversy. Leaks suggest she will contain shocking details, ones that Camilla may not be willing to honor. Tensions are rising, and Harry has drawn a line in the sand. If Camilla refuses to follow through, will this be the moment Harry cuts all ties with the royal family?
Over the weekend, Buckingham Palace announced that Harry and Meghan will no longer be working members of Britain's monarchy. They'll drop their Royal Highness titles and stop receiving public funds for royal duties.
Join us as we unravel the truth behind the late Queen's will, the growing tension within the monarchy, and what Harry's breaking point means for the future of the royals. Prince Harry's big warning. Prince Harry is known for speaking his mind, but this time he's gone further than ever before. He's reportedly ready to cut off all family ties if Queen Camilla refuses to follow the late Queen Elizabeth's final wishes. That's right. The same Harry who was once deeply connected to the royal family is now threatening to walk away completely. But what exactly is happening behind closed doors? And why does Harry feel so strongly about this? Harry and Meghan's exit from royal life in 2020 changed everything.
Finding Freedom is a biography about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, focusing on their exit from official royal life. The book claims Meghan struggled to settle into her new family and places some blame on Duchess Kate.
When they announced they were stepping back as senior royals, people weren't sure what that even meant. Would they still work with the family? Would they still represent the monarchy? The answer quickly became clear. No. After private discussions with Queen Elizabeth, Prince Charles, now King Charles, and Prince William, an agreement was reached. Harry and Meghan would lose their HRH titles, stop receiving royal funding, and repay the public money used to renovate Frogmore Cottage, their UK home. They were, in essence, free to live their lives as they pleased, but with no official ties to royal duties. From the outside, it seemed like a clean break, but behind the scenes, tensions were still rising. The moment Harry and Meghan moved to the US, a distance formed not just physically, but emotionally. Harry later revealed in interviews that he felt abandoned by his family, particularly his father. Over the years, that distance only grew. And now it seems like things have reached a breaking point. At the center of this new conflict is Queen Camilla. For years, her relationship with Harry has been complicated. Long before she became queen, Camilla was seen as the other woman in Charles and Diana's marriage. Diana's heartbreaking interviews about her struggles, including her famous words, "There were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded," cemented Camilla's reputation in the public eye. Over time, Camilla worked hard to reshape her image. She became involved in charity work, took on royal duties, and when Charles became king, she officially became queen consort. But for Harry, it was never that simple. He never forgot what his mother went through. And now, as queen, Camilla has more influence than ever before. Prince Harry's feud with Queen Camilla isn't just old wounds reopening. It's a battle that seems to escalate with every new revelation. His explosive memoir, Spare, didn't just criticize her.
Of all his tell-alls, it is by far the most explosive, but it may yet prove most damaging to the author himself. The claims these pages contain already provoking a backlash on all sides.
It painted her as a manipulative force in the royal family, driving them further apart. But why does Camilla seem so firmly opposed to any reconciliation? Reports suggest she played a key role in King Charles evicting Harry and Meghan from Frogmore Cottage. To her, Harry isn't just an estranged stepson. He's a threat to the monarchy's stability. Sources claim she sees him as a wolf in sheep's clothing, warning that his presence brings stress and drama. And with Charles' health reportedly under concern, Camilla's stance has only hardened. Meanwhile, the damage extends beyond just them. William and Harry's relationship has reportedly hit a point of no return, with their once close bond now reduced to silence. Royal experts believe Harry's public attacks have made trust nearly impossible to rebuild. While much of the attention is on Camilla, Harry's relationship with his father, King Charles, is just as complicated. In the past, Harry has hinted at feeling let down by Charles, especially during difficult times. He's spoken openly about how his father stopped taking his calls after he and Meghan stepped back from royal duties. And then there's the issue of security. When Harry left royal life, he lost the same level of protection he once had. He's since taken legal action to try and pay for police security while in the UK, arguing that he and his family still face serious threats. The British government, however, has pushed back, saying that protection is reserved for working royals. This security battle has only made things worse. It's clear that Harry still wants to visit the UK, but without the proper security, it's risky.
Prince Harry and his wife Meghan are getting ready for another trip abroad. The couple will visit the United Kingdom and Germany early next month. It will be their first time in the UK since the Queen's Platinum Jubilee in June.
And if he feels like his father isn't doing enough to support him, that adds another level of frustration. If Harry truly follows through with his warning, what would that even look like? Right now, even though he's distanced himself from the royal family, he's still technically the Duke of Sussex. He still has connections to royal history, even if he doesn't use them the way he once did. But if he cuts ties completely, does that mean giving up his title? Does it mean never returning to the UK? Would he stop speaking to Charles and William entirely? We don't know the answers yet, but this isn't just an empty threat. Harry has proven time and time again that when he says he's willing to walk away, he means it. And if he believes his grandmother's wishes aren't being honored, he might see this as his only option. Right now, the royal family hasn't responded publicly to any of this. But if history tells us anything, they likely won't. The royal family has always followed the never complain, never explain rule, meaning they rarely address personal controversies. But that doesn't mean the situation won't get worse. If Harry continues to push this issue, will Charles be forced to intervene? Will Camilla make a statement? Or will the royal family simply ignore it and hope the storm passes? Keep watching, because there's so much more to uncover. Camilla's power move and internal royal family tensions. For years, Camilla was known as Queen Consort, a title meant to show respect while making it clear she wasn't a ruling queen. But that's changed.
Queen Elizabeth says she wants Camilla, the Duchess of Cornwall, to be known as Queen Consort when Prince Charles becomes king. She made the announcement in a message marking the 70th anniversary of her reign.
Camilla has now dropped consort from her title, officially calling herself Queen Camilla. And the decision? It's left even loyal royal supporters in shock. This wasn't a quiet change. It was bold, deliberate, and unmistakable. Royal announcements, official documents, and even Buckingham Palace's website now refer to her simply as the Queen. The move was subtle but sent a clear message. Camilla is fully embracing her role, no longer hiding in the shadow of Queen Elizabeth's legacy. For many, this wasn't just about a title, it was about power. Camilla, once viewed as the outsider who disrupted Charles and Diana's marriage, is now firmly cementing her place in history. But not everyone is on board with it. In fact, the backlash has been intense. To understand why this is such a big deal, you have to look at royal tradition. Historically, a queen consort's role is to support the king, not to hold equal standing. Queen Elizabeth's mother, for example, remained Queen Mother after King George VI passed, never claiming the full title for herself. Camilla's decision to remove consort feels different. It signals that she's not just supporting King Charles, she's stepping into a position of undeniable influence. Some royal watchers believe this was always part of her plan, Others see it as a direct challenge to Queen Elizabeth's legacy. Harry may fall into this category. He had a deep bond with his grandmother, and even after stepping away from royal life, he always spoke of her with admiration. He even made sure to visit her during her final months, showing that despite the tension with the rest of the family, his love for her remained strong. So, if he, in the slightest sense of it, sees Camilla as a threat to the late Queen's legacy, it wouldn't be surprising that he's furious. To him, it might feel like a betrayal not just of the Queen, but of the values she stood for. But does Harry have any proof of this? Or is this more about long-standing resentment finally boiling over? Then there's the timing. This change happened quietly, without public discussion. It wasn't something people voted on or even expected. The decision was simply made, and the palace adjusted accordingly. For royal loyalists, it felt like a shift they didn't get a say in. And for those who never fully accepted Camilla, this was another reason to question her place on the throne. If there's one royal known for her no-nonsense attitude, it's Princess Anne. The only daughter of Queen Elizabeth, Anne has always been deeply committed to tradition. She's never sought the spotlight, never stirred up drama, and never been one for political games. But now, she's reportedly furious, and it's not just about Camilla's new title. Anne is said to be outraged over the sale of Queen Elizabeth's treasured racehorses. The late Queen was a lifelong lover of horses. Her passion for breeding, training, and racing them was well documented. Some of her best moments were at the Royal Ascot, watching her horses compete.
Nursery rhyme about all the king's horses. In Britain yesterday, the Queen won a big prize at Royal Ascot. No other king or queen has done that.
These weren't just animals to her. They were a vital part of her life. So when news broke that some of the Queen's most prized horses were being sold off, it sent shockwaves through royal circles. Princess Anne allegedly saw it as a betrayal, a break from tradition that Queen Elizabeth would have never allowed. Some sources claim she confronted Charles about it, urging him to reconsider. But the decision had already been made. And with Camilla playing a larger role in royal affairs, some believe she was the one pushing for these changes. If there's one thing this drama has highlighted, it's how differently Prince William and Prince Harry handle royal conflicts. William, for all the changes happening around him, remains the ultimate royal insider. He may not always agree with the decisions being made, but he plays the long game. He knows that one day he'll be king. And for that reason, he rarely challenges major moves publicly. Instead, he focuses on strengthening his role, keeping the monarchy stable, and avoiding unnecessary battles. Harry, on the other hand, has no interest in playing along. He's made it clear time and time again he won't stay silent when he sees something he doesn't agree with. And now, with Camilla's growing influence, Harry's frustrations seem to be reaching a boiling point. He's always struggled with his stepmother's role in the family. But if he believes she's changing royal traditions for her own benefit, that could be the final straw. Harry and William's reactions to these unfolding events are proof of how deep their differences run. One chooses silence. The other is on the edge of walking away forever. The royal family has always survived by adapting. From Queen Elizabeth taking the throne at a young age to Charles becoming king after decades of waiting, the monarchy has evolved with the times. But now, they're facing something they've never dealt with before: unprecedented public scrutiny. With Camilla's rise in influence, Anne's frustrations, and Harry's potential departure, it raises a serious question. Is the monarchy starting to fall apart? For King Charles, this is a defining moment. His entire reign has been about proving himself, showing that despite his age, he can be a steady, respected leader. But every decision he makes is being watched, and right now, he's caught between honoring tradition and making the monarchy more modern. His dilemma is clear. Does he continue on the traditional path laid out by his mother? Or does he allow changes, like Camilla's full title, to reshape the institution? Every move he makes is met with criticism. If he sides too much with Camilla, He risks alienating people who still hold deep respect for Queen Elizabeth. But if he resists change, he could seem out of touch with the modern world. It's a tricky situation that needs careful handling, and the pressure is growing. Beyond the internal struggles, public opinion is also another major problem. Support for the monarchy isn't as strong as it once was. Commonwealth nations like Australia, Canada, and Jamaica have increasingly questioned whether they want to remain tied to the British monarchy. Some leaders have even hinted at breaking away completely. In the UK itself, polls show that younger generations are less attached to the idea of a royal family. While older Britons largely support the monarchy, younger people are questioning its relevance. All of this means one thing: if the monarchy wants to survive, it needs to change. But how much change is too much? And will those changes happen fast enough to keep people on board? With everything going on, it's becoming clearer than ever that Harry might be at his breaking point. He's already distanced himself from the royal family. He's given interviews, written a book, and made it clear that he has no regrets about leaving. But so far, he hasn't fully severed ties. If Camilla's growing influence and the changes in the monarchy continue, could this be the final push? Could Harry officially cut ties forever? It's a question no one has the answer to yet. But this royal drama is far from over. Keep watching. You won't want to miss the next part. Meghan's influence. Of course, every time Harry takes a stand, there's one question that always comes up. How much of this is Meghan's influence? Ever since Harry and Meghan left royal life behind, many have speculated that Meghan has played a major role in his decisions. And when it comes to Camilla, things get even more complicated. Meghan has faced a series of accusations, including that she tried to steal Camilla's limelight. She allegedly saw through Camilla's carefully crafted public image and believed she would eventually make some power moves. There are those who believe that Meghan's role in this situation isn't about control. It's about support. Unlike other members of the royal family, she has no emotional attachment to the monarchy. Also, she sees things from an outsider's perspective, and she may have encouraged Harry to look at the situation objectively. If he feels betrayed, why should he stay loyal? If he feels his grandmother's wishes are being ignored, why shouldn't he fight back? Not to mention that Harry isn't alone in this. Princess Anne is another person who has been raising questions. She has long been known as one of the most loyal defenders of the Queen's values. Insiders claim she was one of the first to question why Camilla was moving so fast with certain decisions. She also allegedly opposed selling off the Queen's beloved horses, believing it went against her mother's wishes. With so many rumors making the rounds about this, it appears that Harry's decision to cut family ties could soon become a reality. And then there's the media. Every time Harry takes a stand, tabloids rush to paint Meghan as the mastermind behind it. But here's the truth. Harry has always had issues with certain members of his family. His frustration with Camilla didn't start when he married Meghan.
A love story Hollywood will no doubt try to recreate in future years. But the filmmakers will be hard-pressed to match the spectacular reality of Harry and Meghan's day.
He openly spoke about his complicated feelings toward her years before he even met Meghan. However, one thing is undeniable. Meghan gives Harry the freedom to act without royal constraints. If he was still living within the palace walls, things would be different. But now, he doesn't have to play by their rules. He doesn't have to stay silent. And if Camilla's actions truly go against the Queen's wishes, Harry may have just found the perfect reason to walk away for good. But the question is, if he follows through, what happens next? For years, Prince Harry has wrestled with his place in the royal family. He tried to make peace, tried to find common ground. But if there's one thing that's becoming more obvious, it's that his patience is wearing thin. And now, with the latest tensions surrounding Camilla, the Queen's final wishes, and the growing divide between him and his family, the moment of no return may finally be here. But what would that even look like? If Harry truly follows through and severs all ties, how would it change the royal family? And more importantly, what does he have to lose? Right now, Harry is still connected to the monarchy, even if just by name. But if he officially cuts ties, the impact would be huge. First, let's talk about titles. Right now, he and Meghan still hold the Duke and Duchess of Sussex titles, even though they no longer use their HRH, his or her Royal Highness status. But if Harry walks away for good, would the palace finally strip him of everything? There have been discussions about this for years, with some royal insiders believing that King Charles is hesitant to make that move. Why? Because removing Harry's titles could backfire badly. It would make it clear to the world that the family feud has hit rock bottom, and if there's one thing the monarchy hates, it's bad PR. Then, there's the issue of family relationships. It's no secret that Harry and William's relationship is in shambles. Once inseparable, they now barely speak. And while many hoped that time would heal their wounds, this latest drama may be the final nail in the coffin. If Harry follows through, it could mean no reconciliation ever. No more secret meetings behind closed doors. No more polite, forced appearances at royal events. And that means one thing. When the time comes for King Charles's reign to end, William will take the throne without his brother by his side. And what about Meghan and their children? Right now, Archie and Lilibet technically have royal titles, Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet, thanks to a rule that automatically gives the monarch's grandchildren those titles. But if Harry walks away completely, will they ever set foot in the UK again? Harry leaving wouldn't just be a personal decision, it would be a statement. A statement that the monarchy, in its current form, no longer works for him. And he wouldn't be alone in that sentiment. Right now, the British royal family is facing some of its biggest challenges in history. Harry has become an unofficial voice of those questioning the monarchy's future. His departure would send a message. If even the king's own son doesn't want to be a part of this institution, why should the rest of the world continue to support it? But here's where it gets interesting. Could this actually be what Harry wants? For years, he has pushed for change within the monarchy. More transparency, a shift away from outdated traditions, and a focus on real human connection rather than public image. But if those changes aren't happening, maybe the best way to prove his point is by walking away completely. If Harry follows through, the public reaction would be huge. Royal fans would be divided. Some support Harry's decision, while others criticize him for abandoning his duty. The media would go into overdrive, trying to get every insider scoop possible. But the biggest impact? It would be felt inside the palace walls. King Charles, already dealing with pressure from all sides, would have to deal with a monarchy that is rapidly losing public trust. Camilla, now firmly seated as queen, would have to defend her position even more fiercely, because, let's be honest, there are plenty of people who still see her as an outsider who doesn't belong on the throne. William? He would officially become the only young royal carrying the family forward. No brother by his side, no second in command. And with Kate balancing royal duties and family life, that means William would bear even more responsibility for keeping the monarchy afloat. And then there's Meghan and Harry themselves. If they truly cut all ties, does that mean they're free? Free to live however they want? Free from the constant scrutiny? Or does it mean something else entirely? Because even if Harry walks away, his name will always be linked to the monarchy. The royal family will never truly be able to erase him from history. So, where does this all lead? The royal family is at a crossroads, and Harry stands at the very edge, deciding whether to take the final step away. Camilla has cemented her place as queen, William is locked into his future as king, and Charles is juggling a monarchy under fire. But Harry? He holds the wild card. If he follows through, if he truly breaks every last tie, it won't just change his life. It could shake the very foundation of the royal family. And let's be real, the world will be watching every single move. What do you think? Will Harry go through with it? And if he does, what does that mean for the royal family's future? Share your thoughts in the comments. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more. Also, click the following video shown on your screen. You will enjoy it.